This is WTV's Jennifer Hernandez with this week's edition of Real Talk. Today we're going to hit the halls and ask students their interests in sports. What do you think the hardest thing to do in sports is?
I think the hardest thing to do in sports is like focus and put all your concentration into that sport, because like you have other things outside of school and then you come back and you're like, oh gosh, now I have to like put more energy into this.
What is the hardest thing to do in sports?
Running, because like you don't have enough stamina, so that's really hard and I'll be out of breath.
What is the hardest thing to do in sports?
I think the hardest thing to do in sports is to bond with your teammates.
What do you think the hardest thing to do in sports is?
Probably running,
Why is that?
because I don't like running.
If there's one thing you could do in sports, what would it be?
A while ago I quit volleyball, so I wish I could do that again.
If you could do one thing in sports, what would it be?
Probably play games without practicing.
If you could do one thing in sports, what would it be?
I would probably do volleyball or track. Usain Bolt.
If you could do one thing in sports, what would it be?
Is dance a sport?
Yeah.
Yes. Dance, I love dance. I like to dance and cheer. Cheer's a sport, dance is a sport. Yeah.
This has been WTV's Jennifer Hernandez with this week's edition of Real Talk.